Hey, how you going? Thanks for joining me. I'm really excited about this topic today. I have been working really closely with incorporating visualization into my meditation over the last few months, and I'm just bursting with love and energy and vitality and creativity and optimism, and I'm just feeling fantastic. I'm feeling really, really positive about life, and I'm achieving my goals, and I'm feeling good. And I wanted to share that with you guys today and just let you know that a simple technique of just using a little bit of visualization each day can really start to cultivate and bring about your dreams and desires. And so today I'm really going to be bringing back to the main point of what we think is what we are. What we think in our heads all day long, every day, what we dream, what we, sort of procrastinate about, they are what come out into our life. We just cannot do something, we cannot do an action in life without putting forward a thought first. We need to think about something before it can be put into motion. And that is the most simple way of explaining that visualization works, visualization is real, and that you can create your own dreams and desires if you learn how to visualize and control your thought patterns into being something that's positive and, workable for you. So I just wanted to sort of start with explaining a little bit about human nature and, the tendencies we have to be negative. We are sort of bred into having a little bit of a negative cycle in our minds, and that's purely because we need it for survival. If we were to be these positive, go-getting people 24/7, we'd end up walking off buildings or jumping off bridges thinking that we could fly. And let's face it, we can't fly, we don't have wings. And so human nature has taught us from birth that we have a sign inside us inside of us that says, don't do that, that's dangerous, you might fail, and this could change your circumstances. And look, hey, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm saying it's really good that we've got that as survival mechanisms. However, what I am saying is that we've taken that far too literally, and it's causing us to be really scared and fearful of change and failure. And they're the two big things that we tend to live our life around. Change, the fear of change, and the fear of failing. And that's, it's pretty shitty, to be honest, isn't it? Because let's face it, change can be a really good thing. And if we do fail, we are able to pick ourselves back up and continue on. It's really not the end of the world in most circumstances. So with visualization, the most important thing to do is start to understand your thought patterns. Start to become the observer of your thought patterns rather than being the victim. By becoming the observer of our thought patterns, we take ourselves out of the situation and we're able to see from a little bit of a clearer angle what we're actually thinking rather than just feeding into it and letting the ego run off with it. So if we can really start to bring ourselves back and catch our thoughts and catch what we're actually thinking about, which, as I said before, is obviously going to lead into an action of our life, we're able to really catch and say, hey, no, actually, that's not what I want to be doing. I don't want to live that negative cycle in my life, or I don't want to live that negative pattern in my life. We're able to catch it then and there, and we're able to start to cultivate a new vision of what we would like. And once you can start to cultivate those negative feelings, you can start to really create your flow. And your flow is that state of mind when you're feeling creative, when you're feeling optimistic, when you're feeling engaged, when you're feeling free, when your mind is unattached, that really good feeling that I just don't think we're getting enough of in this day and age. We just tend to be concentrating too much on the negatives and not enough on what's actually going good in our lives and how we can actually create more good in our life. And that's basically what visualization is. So the best way to kind of start with visualization is to set aside a little bit of time just as you wake up and just before you go to sleep. And I'm literally talking no more than 5 minutes if that's how you want to start out. But just simply by allowing ourselves to sit and observe our thoughts and start to create a vision that we would like to see come out into our lives, we create our own dreams and our own reality. And it's as simple as that, because I'll come back to that content that I used before, which is what we think is what we are. The thoughts we choose to think are the actions that we then put into practice. And if we can start to cultivate visions that feel good and look good and are what we want to be about, hey, that's living, that's happiness, that's creativity, that's optimism, that's positivity, and that's everything we want. You know, to be able to have control of our own lives and say, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do it because I'm going to visualize it and I'm going to stick to it and I'm going to make it happen. Now, I've had this discussion with, a few people here and there. Oh, visualization doesn't work for me. It's never worked for me. It's a practice. You've got to be dedicated to visualizing. You can't just expect to visualize a dream once and then just expect a miracle. And miracles do happen, but we have to work on them. We have to cultivate them. We have to dream them. You can't expect to have a million thoughts about having no money during the day and one good thought about being a millionaire, because it's out of balance. It doesn't work. So you've really got to be dedicated to having that practice and saying, you know what, I am ready to cultivate my dreams, and I'm going to dedicate that time. I'm going to dedicate 5 minutes out of my day each morning to sit down, visualize exactly what I want, and I'm going to cultivate it. Now, it's really important with visualization to put it out there, give it to the universe, let it go, manifest it in your mind and put it out there, and not worry about the how. Try not to get too caught up in how you're going to achieve it. Just put out why you want it and what it is that you want. Because with those two core purposes, we bring about our values and our beliefs. And the want and the why we want it is the most important thing for creating the feeling that's going to come about when we actually do get it. So I know it can be really hard, and I did struggle with this for a little while myself, but you need to learn to trust that the universe will give you what you desire if you're putting it in your mind and if you're throwing it out. So it's a really important note to take. Just concentrate on what exactly it is you want. Really get that feeling of what it is you want and why. Why is that so important to you? And what's going to change if you get that? How is your life going to be different? Get that feeling of how different things are going to be when you get to have your desire and when you get to cultivate your dreams. So they're the really important things to concentrate on when you actually are doing your visualization. So this is a really exciting topic, and I have just used this in so many areas of my life, and I'm just feeling more and more positive each day, every day, and it's a really good feeling, and I want to bring this to you guys. I'm going to be putting a blog up shortly about how to create your flow and how do you get into that state of visualizing and feeling really good about it. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoyed this. And I'm looking forward to doing this again. Have a gorgeous day. Love you all. Bye.